So the theme of the conference this year is fish welfare, primarily because we believe there is a need to bring different stakeholders together to have these conversations. As we understand, there's an increased public pressure as there is greater scrutiny from our certifiers, from the industry itself, and from the general public. And therefore, we feel it's time that we as an organization and we as vets, who are very often seen as kind of the gatekeepers to animal health and welfare, it's time for us to come together and have these conversations and see what comes out of it. It also is a great opportunity for us to bring different people with a diverse set of opinions together. That, of course, there will always be a discussion of fish welfare whenever you bring industry members together, but sometimes we're all singing off the same hymn sheet. So it's a welcome change to have different people with different opinions and to challenge that a little bit. A difficult question for me to answer, I'll be honest with you, because I've been in this industry myself only a number of years. However, what I can say, even coming from my student days to now, is that the volume and the quality of the conversations that are being had have increased exponentially, without a doubt. So the interesting part is you have various organizations who look at the welfare of various fish species, and the question that springs to mind for me is, what is the transferable knowledge between the species, and what is the transferable knowledge between the industries also? As we heard today, there are a lot of welfare frameworks that exist for chickens in industrial facilities. We also have different welfare indicators for mink, for example. There are a lot of animals that we farm intensively that we have fairly robust, as far as we believe, welfare monitoring systems. The question is, can those be related back to fish? And the other question is, the systems that already are in place, like things are Fishwell and the Loxwell, which were also discussed today, how robust are they in an evolving and increasingly challenging marine and freshwater environment? And additionally, when you bring technology into the fore, the more data that we have, the more it seems at times that the understanding gets lost. So it's that fine art between, can we keep up with the machines, and can we truly understand what the significance of all of this data is? So one of the biggest challenges that we face in Scotland as fish vets is just the complexity of the pathological picture. That I, coming from small animal medicine previously, is a very different scenario to be dealing with a single dog or a single cat, however complex or difficult their health challenges may be. When you then have to expand that to the scale of millions of fish at any one time, the epidemiological picture can be quite difficult to wrap your head around. And in addition to that, it's more often than not, it's not one issue that we'll see at a time. So the advent of complex gill disease represents a real challenge for us, especially in light of an increasing lice burden in certain areas and warming sea temperatures, meaning that we're not getting the same breaks over the winter period from lice and from gill challenges that perhaps historically we were expecting. So I think it's a question of how can we keep up with the latest scientific and technological developments, and then find ways to relate all of those developments back to the actual lived experience of the fish in the water, which is what we're all here for at the end of the day. So to be honest with you, I say there's quite a few benefits to being a fish vet. If we want to go down the artsy-fartsy route for a moment, I mean, salmon as a species are so utterly fascinating. I mean, the ancient wisdom of the earth has to be, if it was captured in any animal, surely it must be in that. And as much as anything, you have wonderful opportunities to be on the real cutting edge of the latest scientific and technological developments. So it's wonderful to see with our students, for example, this evening, the research that they're doing, a lot of this has not been done before, or it hasn't been framed in that particular way. So the fact that even as a student, you are contributing so directly to the field is such a revelation. And then the technology that exists, it evolves and it develops at such a rapid rate that, again, it's a very exciting time to be part of this industry. And it's an area where there are enormous challenges. There are big holes in our understanding of the animals that we farm, but that in itself can present very interesting opportunities.